Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. 10 mysterious places that you won't believe exist. It's an oft-repeated notion. Everything on Earth has already been explored, and how awesome it would have been if we were born in the age of exploration. In a constantly shrinking world due to technology and advanced research tools, that does seem to be true. After all, why would we be thinking about going to distant planets in the solar system if we'd already seen everything on Earth? But before you get too comfortable that everything you want to know is just a simple Google search away, there are still places out there that have been explored, but it would be really hard to digest their existence. Here are the 10 mysterious places that you won't believe actually exist. Number 10. Superstition Mountains. The Superstition Mountains are a mountain range located east of Phoenix, Arizona. Already it's off to a great start with the name. According to legend, sometime in the 1800s, a man named Jacob Waltz discovered a huge gold mine within the mountains that has since been dubbed the Lost Dutchman's Gold Mine because Waltz was German and, close enough. He kept the location secret until his deathbed, upon which he may or may not have told a single person the secret. Regardless, the mine has never been found, in spite of many expeditions. Some say the spirits of people who've lost their lives in search of the gold still haunt the mountains. One reportedly Native American legend goes that the treasures of the mountains are guarded by creatures called Turatums, or little people, that live below the mountains in caves and tunnels. Some Apaches believe that the entrance to hell is located in the mountains. This, of course, is ridiculous. As we all know, the entrance to hell is in Sunnydale. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that will take just 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell and you get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Number 9. Eye of the Sahara. The Richat structure, or the Eye of the Sahara, it's a 50-kilometer wide circular feature in the world's hottest desert. It's made of concentric circles in various shades of blue and is best seen from space. For a long time, it was thought to be an impact crater, but recent research suggests that's almost certainly not the case. The heat and pressure of a meteor strike leaves behind telltale compounds, including a form of silicon dioxide called coesite. The eye has none. Some people have noted a resemblance to Plato's description of Atlantis and suggest the mythical city may have had its home there. Even if Atlanteans had lived there, evidence suggests that the structure formed nearly 100 million years ago, so they didn't build it. The extent of human habitation is a makeshift camp of adventurous tourists. Another possibility is that the Richat structure is the top of a volcano, but it's not the bulged dome shape we expect to find. The current leading theory is that the feature was eroded into place over a long period of time. That covers what's on the ground, but it leaves a circular shape in utter mystery. Number 8. Bigelow Ranch. Bigelow Ranch, formerly known as Skinwalker Ranch and Sherman Ranch, is a 480-acre property in northwest Utah that is home to countless UFO sightings, animal mutations, and other strange occurrences. Though mysterious happenings have been documented since the 50s, some of the most bizarre stories happened to a pair of ranchers named Terry and Gwen Sherman after they bought it in 1994. The first day they moved down to the property, they saw a large wolf out on the pasture. They even went to pet the wolf as it seemed tame. It was docile with the Shermans, but ended up grabbing a calf by the snout through the bars of its enclosure. When Terry shot at the wolf with a pistol, the bullets had no effect. It finally left after Terry brought out the shotgun, though even that didn't have any actual damage. The Shermans tried tracking the wolf, but its tracks stopped abruptly, as if it had vanished. And that wasn't the end of things. The Shermans were constantly plagued by such events as UFO sightings, intelligent floating orbs, reputed to have incinerated 3 of their dogs, inexplicable cryptids, and gruesome cattle mutilations. It got so bad that the Shermans actually sold their ranch to Robert Bigelow in 1996, the founder of the National Institute for Discovery Science, who wanted to study the mysteries surrounding the ranch. Bigelow owns the ranch to this day, and NIDS keeps a tight lid on their findings. Number 7. Uturuncu. Uturuncu, a 6,000-meter volcano in southwest Bolivia, last erupted 300,000 years ago. Satellite observations from the last 20 years have found the volcano's underground chambers filling up 10 times faster than similar volcano systems. It's growing by a cubic meter of magma per second. The result is that the land around the volcano, in an area 43 miles across, is ballooning upward by a couple of centimeters every year. The first unanswered question is how long the inflation has been going on. Geomorphologists have studied nearby terrain, and it looks to be a relatively recent phenomenon, but there's a lot of detective work left. The other mystery is what Uturuncu will do in the future. Oregon State University's Shan Da Silva, who's been studying the volcano since 2006, thinks it could be a potential supervolcano. Other geologists see no evidence for that claim. Either way, 300,000 years is about the average wait between eruptions in southwest Bolivia, and Uturuncu looks like it's getting ready to do something. But when? Nobody knows. Number 6. Lake Hillier. Lake Hillier is not the only pink lake in the world, but it's definitely the least understood. It was discovered in 1802 in a pristine area of Australia's wilderness. To protect wildlife that live around the lake, it's currently only possible to view from the air. This isolation has left it unstudied. The bubblegum pink lake is safe to swim in, though it's extremely salty. There are 3 likely causes for the color, based on what we know of other pink lakes around the world. Pink Lake in Western Australia is actually less pink and in hillier terrain than Lake Hillier. Pink Lake's color is caused by a combination of shrimp and microorganisms known as halobacteria, which aren't really a type of bacteria. There may be actual bacteria or archaea, such as the misnamed halobacteria, living in Hillier's salt crusts. Lake Retba in Senegal is a similar color and shares a high salt content, but its pinkness is caused by an algae. Finally, Hillier's color may not require life at all, but could be due to chemical reactions. The salt in the lake could react with dissolving baking soda, or there could be some other unique composition of rocks surrounding the lake. One option that's definitely ruled out is an optical illusion, as the water stays pink even when placed inside a bottle. Number 5. Snake Island, Brazil. Ilha da Camira Grande, or Snake Island, as it's more affectionately known, is a 43-hectare island located off the Brazilian coastline, approximately 20 miles from the Sao Paulo shore. The island is home to one of the globe's most deadly species of snake, the golden lancehead viper, whose venom can eat through flesh. Also, you only have an hour to save someone bit by this viper, and the closest hospital is 90 kilometers away from the island. The risk of surviving such a fatal bite are close to none. There are more than 4,000 of them on the island, but local lore suggests that there is one snake for every 5 square meters of the land. Whatever the case, the Brazilian government has prohibited any visitors from setting foot there, with one exception. Every few years, the government grants a handful of scientists a permit to study the snakes. On the island, there is a lighthouse, and someone had to man the lighthouse. So according to the Smithsonian, in the early 1900s, there would be a lighthouse keeper on the island to keep it running. As legend would have it, the last one in his family didn't make it off, as it's thought that snakes got into his home through open windows. It's scary to think someone would live on the island, and even worse, be afraid of what is outside all the time. Number 4. North Sentinel Island, Andaman Islands. This small, heavily forested island in the Bay of Bengal is completely encircled by coral reef, making it difficult to approach by boat. However, its inaccessibility is not the main obstacle to visit. North Sentinel Island is inhabited by a small indigenous population known as the Sentinelese, who have rejected contact with all other peoples. They are among the world's last communities to remain untouched by modern civilization. In 2008, 2 fishermen whose boat accidentally strayed too close to the island were reportedly killed by the tribe. And in the wake of a massive 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and resulting tsunami, research helicopters assessing the damage in the area were attacked by the Sentinelese, who shot arrows and threw stones as the aircraft flew over the coastline. According to a 2011 census effort, and based on anthropologists' estimates of how many people the island could support, there are probably somewhere between 80 and 150 people on North Sentinel Island, although it could be as many as 500 or as few as 15. Number 3. Vatican Secret Archives. The actual name of the Vatican Archives is Archivium Secretum Apostolicum Vaticanum. Secretum in Latin does not mean secret, as some may suppose. It is more accurately translated to mean personal or private. Anyways, buried deep within the walls of Vatican City, and mostly underground, are the Vatican Secret Archives, which house the immense history of the Acts of the Holy See, along with historic documents, state papers, papal account books, and other official correspondence, some of which dates back to the 8th century. Items include letters from Michelangelo, a letter from Mary Queen of Scots written while she was awaiting her execution, and King Henry VIII's request for a marriage annulment. The archives, which are the official property of the current Pope, have been estimated to span over 52 miles of shelving with more than 35,000 items. Other than a very small staff who take care of the archives, access is strictly limited to qualified scholars from very select higher education and research institutions, all of whom have to undergo a rigorous access application process to be granted entry. Number 2. Tomb of Qin Shi Huang. The tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, who died in 210 BC, is buried deep beneath a hill in central China. The burial complex consists of a complicated network of underground caverns that were filled with all the things the emperor would need in the afterlife, including clay reproductions of his armies, families, servants, horses, and staff, widely known as the Terracotta Army. Since its initial discovery in 1974, over 2,000 statues have been excavated, each of them completely unique. The experts believe that there is more than 8,000 in total surrounding the central tomb, still yet to be uncovered. However, the Chinese government might never allow the excavations of the emperor's tomb, choosing to respect the ancient burial rites. So while tourists can catch a glimpse of the emperor's clay army during a site tour, the ancient warrior's main tomb may remain undiscovered indefinitely. Number 1. Mount Baldy Sinkholes. At 37 meters or 123 feet, Mount Baldy is the tallest sand dune on the southern edge of Lake Michigan. Indiana advertises the tourist attraction as living because it moves a meter or two every year. The dune began to move when visitors wore away the grass holding it together. How it moves, though, that's no mystery. It's caused by the wind. It's the dune's ability to swallow children that's puzzling scientists. In July 2013, 6-year-old Nathan Wassner was buried when a 3-meter hole suddenly formed beneath him. It took 3 hours to dig him out, thankfully alive. The next month, a second hole appeared. Deep air pockets aren't supposed to be able to form in sand dunes, because the sand should immediately fill any gaps. We're seeing what appears to be a new geological phenomenon, said geologist Erin Argulin, who was leading an investigation. She was working nearby the day Nathan was swallowed and is emotionally invested in finding the answer. The dune may cover trees, which rot away to create the holes. The dune was once mined to use the sand in glass making, so the phenomenon may be caused by humans. In the meantime, the dune is very much closed to the public until someone can figure out what's going on here.